My male teen mother left my dad when I was 10. She left us for a guy she met at the U.S. Embassy. He doesn't work there, but was there because he lost his passport. I visited her at first, but then she cut contact with us after getting pregnant with my half-brother and didn't visit or have me visit for over 4 years, never called me, and never answered any of my calls. Then she came back 2 months ago, saying she thought her new son with her new husband could make her forget about me, but she still couldn't. She begged Dad to tell me to visit her, since Dad got her parental rights terminated for abandonment. Dad told me I didn't have to if I don't want to, but also said to think about it carefully. So I said, all right, I'll give it a try. He dropped me off, agreeing with my mother that he'd pick me up in 4 hours. I brought a book with me just in case I got bored. When my mother's husband saw it, he said, "You must be a retard, reading a book meant for a 10-year-old. Then he drank coffee. I didn't even think about my words before saying, "Yeah, my English isn't as good as my first language. As I remember, you only speak one language, yes?" He choked on the coffee and sputtered. His son, nearly adult from his previous marriage, actually laughed at his ridiculous expression. My mother was not so amused, though. After wiping away the mess, she yelled at me for disrespecting an adult and embarrassing him. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Great job defending yourself. Hope you told your dad what happened and go no contact with your mom. She's not worth your time. Screaming at you the first time you're in her presence after years of being absent? Nope. Your mother is a disgusting individual for doing what she did to you and your family and watching her affair husband abuse you. I would have immediately left after this comment. That's how he greets you? Nah, he and your mom can pound sand. Boy, if his son laughed, guaranteed the dad's an idiot. His remark was exceedingly rude, and you called him out for it gracefully. You would have been justified if you had spewed insults. You didn't. You asked him a polite question. The fact that this question showed the stupidity of his remark is not your fault. If you look like an idiot, it was because he was an idiot. Don't ever go back. She's not interested in having a son. She's interested in having a purse dog, something to show off to her friends and make her feel good when she wants to. I'm hoping that this is your first and last visit to that household. Definitely the last one. I told my dad an hour ago that I won't be going back there again and that I want no more contact with her. The near adult is Mom's husband's son from his previous marriage, not my mother's. As for the kid my mother gave birth to, I don't have a relationship with him, and he's not involved since he was in his room when this happened. Thank you for your support. So this is causing a lot of family drama. Background: my partner and I live in Boston, and the wedding of their siblings we are attending is in the Montreal area. The ceremony and reception are an hour apart by car. We're arriving with our young toddler daughter, the flower girl, the day before. The provided shuttle leaves the hotel where the reception is, right at nap time, and the ceremony starts at the end of nap time. The hotel does not serve lunch until the shuttle is scheduled to leave, and no other restaurants are nearby. So we suggested going in the morning to the area where the ceremony will be held so we can get lunch at a nearby restaurant, more options than a reception area, and places that are open and serving earlier, and have our daughter sleep in the stroller after lunch and meet everyone at the town hall for the reception, i.e. skip the shuttle to the ceremony. We will take the shuttle back to the hotel and reception with everyone. My partner's parents shot this idea down. They're insisting we go on the shuttle with everyone to the ceremony. There's no food served between 12 p.m. and 7 p.m., so it's essential we get our daughter a good lunch before the ceremony so she doesn't have a complete meltdown without a nap and food. We will, of course, have some snacks on hand for in between, but we will not be able to provide her a proper meal most of the day. I'm also 7 months pregnant and eat throughout the day to ease my intense heartburn, so I'll already be struggling with hunger and nausea for these 7 hours. Though I could manage, the toddler will not. Am I the idiot if we went ahead and did our plan of meeting at the ceremony and skipping the shuttle one way to have lunch and our toddler nap, despite my in-laws' objection to this idea? They're insisting we go on the shuttle with everyone both ways. My partner's fully on my side, or rather, this was the compromise or solution I came up with to ease the tension between my partner and their parents on this topic, as my partner wanted to not go at all after the fight with the parents. We're the only guests coming from so far. Not the idiot. I have no idea why your choice of transportation, which makes more sense for all three of you, especially your child and you, makes any difference to anyone, other than giving them a sense of power. Tell them two choices. Shuttle equals screaming, tired, hungry child during the wedding. Your way equals a happy, rested child during the wedding. I bet everyone else knows which the bridal pair would prefer. I agree. In your shoes, I'd be saying, it's either we do it this way, or you get another flower girl, or be prepared for the ceremony to be ruined by tired and hangry screaming. Your child's needs and your pregnancy needs come before anything else. Do it. Don't worry about anyone else. And I can't imagine getting a stroller on the shuttle. LOL. OMG, this is such a weird hill for your in-laws to die on. Let alone, what a massive inconvenience for all the guests to have to travel 2 hours going back and forth. Go early, don't take the shuttle, and don't give a second thought to your in-laws. They seem to be very controlling. I, 27 female, have a half-sister, 25. We share the same mom, but she cheated on my dad while they were married, and my half-sister is the result of that. Mom ended up marrying her dad after the affair was revealed, and DNA was established. Apparently, he wouldn't have married Mom if my half-sister wouldn't have been his. My parents shared custody of me until I was about to turn 8, literally 2 weeks before my birthday, and then my dad passed away in an accident. I was at school, and it was his parenting time with me, so I saw him that day. It destroyed me. I ended up living with my mom, obviously. I always knew about the tensions between my parents, my dad, and my mom's husband. I always knew about the affair because my aunt, Mom's sister, was very open about it, and she would use every opportunity to call my mom and her husband out. My mom's still married to my half-sister's dad. He tried to be a dad to me. I do think he loves me. He claims me as his other daughter, all that stuff. But I still see him as not my dad, and as the person who slept with my mom and got her pregnant while she was married to my dad. He does not get the fatherly role in my life now. Whenever I see him and my mom, I'm civil, but we're not that close. My relationship with my half-sister isn't that close either, but I know none of this is her fault, so I try to have a sibling relationship with her. After I got engaged, she told me she couldn't wait to see our dad walk me down the aisle. That's when I told her it would never happen. And when she said it should, because he's been there longer than my dad ever was, I told her it didn't matter to me, because I would never be walked down the aisle by Mom's affair partner. She told me that was 26 years ago, and I said, yeah, it was, and I don't remember it happening, but he does not get rewarded, and I'm not disrespecting my dad's memory like that. She told me I shouldn't be acting like this, and asked what I think of her when I hate her parents, especially her dad, that much. She told me I should appreciate him more for trying to be a good dad to me, and I always rejected him and treated him like crap. Am I the idiot? Edit. I have not told them that they won't be invited, but I really have nothing to do with them now, so I expect they'll figure it out. My mom is the person who told me that my dad was a bad person because he wouldn't have stayed with her if he was the biological father of my half-sister. She praised her husband for marrying her when he found out, but thought my dad was terrible for making it clear that they'd get divorced, whether he was raising one kid or two. She tried to cheer me up when Dad died by suggesting her husband meant that I wasn't going to miss out on having a dad. She also called her husband my dad, and when I corrected her, she would get really annoyed with me. Then she said my dad was crappy for DNA testing me after he found out about the affair, which to me makes perfect sense. Sister has the idea that we can all be one family sometime, but that's not an option. She holds on to the idea that her dad is also my dad. That's why she assumed all this. Not the idiot. Choose who you want to walk you down the aisle, Put a picture up of your bio dad for remembrance if you like. However, they need to know they aren't invited. They might assume they are, and that they don't need to receive an official invitation. Maybe in their eyes as your parents, they are coming. I know you don't see them as a parent, but in their minds, they probably think that. Send them a registered letter if you don't want to tell them face to face, or an email with a red receipt. They need to know they aren't invited. People who have zero relationships with the bride, even if it is a mother and a stepfather, do not need any heads up. They don't deserve the courtesy. It's not necessarily out of courtesy. It's more so they don't just show up and then risk causing a scene. Maybe you should consider bouncers, OP. Your sister is an idiot. Geez, he's been there longer than my dad ever was? That's kind of a low blow, really. It's not like your dad chose not to be in your life. He died. That's such an exhausting BS situation when people demand that they be honored for roles they don't occupy. Walk yourself. Have someone you love walk you. Shoot, you can walk down the aisle with a pet alligator if you want. She had a different life experience than you, and she doesn't get to dictate how you feel, or that you owe some debt of gratitude to your mother's husband. OP, I think this is beyond an idiot assessment. You have some trauma from your father's death, and lingering anger at both your mom and stepfather. While yes, your stepfather is technically the affair partner, it was over 2 decades ago. That's a long time to be holding on to such strong emotions. Before you walk down the aisle yourself, you should get into therapy to process these emotions. You don't want to carry them forward in your life or your own marriage. I, 28 female, have an older brother, Adam, 30, and my sister-in-law, Stephanie, 28 female. My family and I take a big trip every year, and the time of year depends on everyone's schedules. This year, we collectively agreed for the second week in December. Those going on the trip include my husband Justin, 33, and I, our twin toddlers, my parents, and my brother, sister-in-law, and their toddler. My mom always makes travel arrangements to ensure everyone's on the same flight. Kids sit with parents, hotels are the same, etc. Everyone's on their own for getting to and from the airport at home, but my mom makes car arrangements from the destination airport to the hotel and hotel to the airport when leaving. While my mom makes the arrangements, my husband and I always Zelle or Venmo my mom for our portion of the flights and hotels. My brother and sister-in-law do the same thing. This year, everyone agreed to Disney World in Orlando. My mom, as usual, made all the reservations and whatnot about 2 months ago. My husband and I paid my mom our portion about a week after the reservations were made. Last night, Adam texted my husband, asking if we had paid my parents yet. He said we had a while back. Adam then asked Justin if we could pay for his family's portion of the trip. I'm not sure if everyone's been to Disney, but it's costly these days. Justin told him we couldn't swing it with our budget at the time. We both work full-time and make decent money, but we don't have the kind of money that's just thrown away. My brother and sister-in-law also work full-time, and my nephew's not in daycare. My brother's mother-in-law watches him free while we pay for 2 kids in daycare. Adam responded with, "Well, okay then," and quit texting him. Cue to this morning when I woke up to several texts from Adam calling Justin an idiot for not being a good brother and paying for their family. I told Adam I agreed with Justin and we just can't swing the money for them in our budget. I apologized and told Adam he was out of line for calling Justin an idiot and wouldn't stand for it. Adam again asked me to pay and said it could be our Christmas present to him, my sister-in-law, and my nephew. If I had the spare money to do it that way, I would, but I can't do that, so I can't. I told him I couldn't do it and told him to reach out to our parents about a payment plan or something. Adam called Justin and me idiots and said we ruined their vacation. I'm surprised by my brother's behavior, but are Justin and I the idiots here? Not the idiot. Your brother sounds pretty darned entitled to expect someone else to foot the bill for his wife's, and his kids' trip to see Mickey. Not your problem. He left it to the very last minute in order to manipulate you into paying. I do not doubt that he's known for a long time that he couldn't swing it financially. He should have backed out before your parents made the bookings and paid for everything. He's a major idiot for leaving others with the bill. Something is missing here. I feel like there'll be an update in a few weeks saying that Mom had always paid for the brother and his family. How would someone accustomed to paying his own way be so entitled? Talk to your mom and sister-in-law. Does she know this is happening? It sounds like the brother wants to hide his money issues. Quick update number 1. I'm still at work, but I took the advice of a few on here and reached out to both my mom and sister-in-law separately and let them know what Adam did. My mom and Stephanie both confirmed their portion of the trip has already been paid and has been for months. Stephanie had no idea Adam had reached out to Justin and didn't know why he would. She said she would rein him in and apologize to me for his request. Disney was brother and sister-in-law's idea. After everyone checked on finances, we all agreed, and my mom started making arrangements within the provided budgets at that point. Quick update number 2. I'm sitting in the parking lot at work before I get my kids and head home, but I have more information. I need to preface this by saying that I dearly love my brother, but oh my goodness, I have no idea how this is my life right now. My sister-in-law talked to my brother. I just found out today they have separate checking accounts and a joint savings. Their account is their fund money to use as they please, and the joint account is used for shared or household expenses. My husband and I do this as well. It cuts down majorly on money arguments. Adam apparently ordered my sister a pair of diamond studs as a Christmas present and was charged 3 times for the same item from Tiffany. Rather than dealing with the bank and Tiffany's, he panicked and thought he could just get money from Justin and me to make up for it. I feel bad for him, but literally laughing at the moment. More to come. With the edits, it sounds like the brother has a gambling problem, or 2 mistresses. 3 pairs of diamond stud earrings, and he didn't try to get money back for being charged 3 times for 1 pair? I call BS, so he's lying about the earrings and using the money for other things, or he has a wife and 2 girlfriends. I'd say it's more likely Adam got himself into some trouble and is looking for a bailout without saying what it's for, because he's embarrassed or worried about the trouble he'll get into. Legal troubles, financial, paying off a side piece, bribe money? Who knows, but the alarm bells ring loudly here. Final update. So my brother and sister-in-law brought my husband and me to dinner to discuss what happened over the last day. My brother did show up with bank statements confirming the triple charge from Tiffany's. However, when he explained what happened, it wasn't a mistake from Tiffany's, but rather a user error on his end. Adam's pretty impatient, and when the page didn't automatically refresh from the screen where the payment info was input and the order was confirmed, he hits the submit button, in his words, a few times. So he orders 3 pairs of earrings. He apologized to both Justin and me, as well as my sister-in-law. He's also meeting with our parents tomorrow to apologize to them in person. While initially angry with him, Justin and I forgave him. Don't think for 1 second, though, that this will not be brought up every time he makes fun of me for the time I tried getting out of his truck with my seatbelt still on. LOL. My brother has since called Tiffany's to cancel the 2 erroneously purchased pairs of earrings. I'm sad for my sister-in-law that it's no longer a surprise, and I told my brother to ask for help rather than make up some BS if he manages to do this again. He said he went to Justin first, thinking he would be less likely to make fun of him than I. Totally right. He couldn't bring himself to own his mistake out of embarrassment, which I get, but I told him to just be honest and not hostile. All that said, I only have a bit longer in the day to cuddle my babies, so I'll be doing that. Enjoy your weekend, people. I know I will.